Is the bubble popping? Is this over? What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Online. It is Sunday, March the 1st, the Ides of March. And what's going on, everybody? What a week. What a wild and crazy week, I'll tell you. And of course, all the geniuses are out now and saying that the bubble is popping. We didn't have a bubble, I thought. They kept telling us there was no bubble. And is it popping and is it over? Again, the answer to those questions will be answered by the market itself during the week or whatever period of time. The markets will answer that question. But you've got, the fear seekers out there, the coronavirus. It's going to kill the markets. It's going to cause, and it may very well be a problem. It's very sad, that the issues are here. It's very sad for the people that have obviously lost their lives, and for all of us. But again, at the end of the day, does that signal? Is that the end of everything? Do we now go into a meltdown, or have we already been building our way into this to begin with? Okay, so again, you can either look at it and react to that fear that you see right now, okay, or you can understand that we've been saying here for months that we're in a slowdown. We were saying for months we were in the early stages of recession. So, and we were also saying for months that the markets were searching for a reason to go lower. Okay, now we were long the whole time, but we're short now. And again, you can't put it on one event. This has been something that's been building. But of course, now all the geniuses who have to be right can't say, well, there's a bubble, the bubble's popping. I don't know, I'm not sure. Okay, well, I always thought valuations were a little ridiculous. But does that mean it's over? I don't really know. I can't answer whether it's over or not until the market tells me that it's over. But of course, you'll get trapped in, and you better be careful here, okay, with the talk of doom and gloom, and maybe it will be. Again, I have no idea what's next for anything other than we've already been planning for the recession anyways. So it's not like we didn't think there was something on the horizon. It's not like we didn't think that the markets were going to find a top at some point. And is this it? That'll be the question. But again, the obviously coronavirus, you have many of the pundits and actually think, well, this is a different market now because of the virus. Well, why is this market any different than any other market? Because at the end, all markets are the same. They go through the same movement, and eventually they all pop. And then, like the Dow or the equity markets will once again be higher at some point, and they will, I would suspect, resume their 8 to 8.5% moves upside year over year. Okay. So are we at the tipping point here is always the question. And of course, if the media has its way, and if the left has their way, it will be the end for a while. Okay. But again, at the end of the day, okay, the markets will determine indeed when it's over. I mean, we haven't suddenly found a magical place to run and invest our money. Okay. Nothing has changed from an investment standpoint, where are you going to go? So, again, we'll see, how it all plays out. But obviously a lot of fear with the coronavirus. Again, that might have been the trigger point that helped the sellers accelerate. But again, I don't think that had the major effect. And of course, you're seeing numbers out there now, the Chinese PMI and a couple other things that those are old numbers. Those numbers were established before the virus was out. Okay. So, again, when you're looking at old data, okay, what does it have to do with what's happening now? So, we have talked about for years how much trouble China was in, and eventually it would come to roost. Well, again, is it coming? And we'll see. Again, we're not going to predict what's next. I mean, obviously, tonight's open will be very big. That'll help go a long way as to determining where we're going to go next. But again, will it be a continuation of the late day rally we saw on Friday, where they were ripping everybody's face off at 5 minutes to 4? or will it be a resumption of the kill that they were doing? Who knows? We'll see. The truth of the matter is, I don't even know what to suspect. Between the one side, everybody telling me fear, and besides the point that we're down 12%, it's hard to balance. Okay, I mean, we're short, so again, that's not going to change anything. But in the meantime, you've got people. I understand in Brooklyn, they're hoarding all the goods from Costco in front of the coronavirus. I understand it's in same in California. Again, I don't really know anything about the virus itself. I know the sadness that we have right now. I know that the panic that might be created by it. But again, based on purely statistics, okay, the flu still kills more people. So, but again, that could change. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not part of the World Health Organization. Of course, they're anything, all these government-related groups, who the hell knows what they're doing, because they don't know what they're doing. Okay, but look at what's going on everywhere. I mean, you've got a little bit of a panic. Yields are in the tank. Okay, I mean, they continue to go lower and look like they want to go lower. You had the Fed come out on Friday, okay, and make some announcement, and it's the usual announcement. It's like the owner or the manager. Your job is safe. You're doing a great job, right? And then they get fired. Well, here's the Fed says everything is great shape. Now, again, every time in history that I can remember, with the exception of once, anytime a major official or somebody has come out to reassure us that everything was fine, it really was not. Okay, the only one that I can say that did not work as the way I thought it would be Mnuchin. Okay, in 2018, when he said that everything was good with the banks, and I still don't believe that. But of course, we did have the big sell-off in December before resuming the rally. But hey, we'll see. Again, typically, if everything is in such great shape, I don't need reassurance from an official to tell me that it's in great shape. And today is Sunday; it's in the morning. I would not be surprised. I would not fall out this chair if the Fed cut today. Okay, now that will, if they do cut today, okay, ahead of the opening, which again I think is a real possibility, but again, it's just speculation. If they do cut today, that would signal fear. Okay, now that would be something that would justify all the fear that's out here, because they're telling you that they see more problems than we see, because they don't discuss the repo rates. They don't discuss all the things that they do behind closed doors with banks that obviously you and I get the pleasure of paying for. But, again, I think, investors were well over exuberant going in. I think you saw the VIX down at tragic levels. Okay, now you're seeing it exploding. What is different about that? It usually, that's pretty typical in markets, in the market cycle in general. Complacency to whatever. But it does appear, okay, that, obviously the coronavirus will have some impact. It's already having impact on oil and an impact on some other things. But I think that, you have to look at the overall picture and say to yourself, here's a market that has gone basically up straight for 11 years. Okay, we've got a sell-off. We're down 12% from the all-time high. Not 12% from, and again, I'm not saying which way it is one or the other. I'm saying to you, we know our position, so we're positioned properly. But I think you have to be very careful of all the BS talk that's out there, okay? Because of, again, forget about the virus for a moment, okay? But just think about everything else that's going on. Auto loan at record debt, auto loan delinquency at record debt, okay? Slowing in growth, slowing everywhere before. Now, again, the virus could add more problems to that. So that's where you see potentially some problems, which we've already identified that it could be cause some heartburn, but it does not mean that we're going to stay and just sell everything. Okay, this is where I think the panic sets in, and this is where this is where the next couple of days are going to be very interesting, because they've really pumped up the volatility. Okay, so if suddenly, okay, we see something, and typically, we usually go from one emotion all the way to the other. There's no stopping investors, right? They go from despair to jubilance. And if they end up in despair here, you could see some pretty healthy selling. But again, we'll see, how the market, and I think, again, the first key will be how the markets open tonight, okay? Do they gap higher and crush all the volatility again, or do they just get tanked? Again, it's too hard to say because we don't have enough information, okay? But based on what was going on last week, you would assume that all rallies are to be sold, which is the way we will play it for right now. And a rally is not 5 points. A rally is a big number rally, a rip your face off into a level, and then you sell it, okay? But again, there is cause for concern, okay, from an economic standpoint. Again, this does not necessarily affect the markets right now, but again, slowing around the globe, we've talked about that at nauseum, okay? Jobs are starting to slow. Yes, I know there's a lot of jobs available, but again, they don't have the qualified people. So there are things happening. So that would be a reason to think that we were getting into that recessionary time. Now, the good news that can come out of this market is that supposedly Israel's got a vaccine for the coronavirus, that they're very close. They're saying within a week, which means by testing and whatever, it'll be a few, let's say a month, whatever. But I would say to you today, okay, that the markets are in a trend low. When that virus does come out, you will see a major rally, which is one that we're going to probably want to sell. And we'll talk more about that when we come back with our market segment right after the break. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday. It is the Ides of March, for the 1st of March. And of course, we'll be right back with more. What's up, all? Listen, did a great hedging webinar yesterday, and if you're hedged, you are having the time of your life right now in this market because you're just accumulating more stock with very little exposure to the market, and you're not going to have to get out if this panic continues. If you want to get a copy of that webinar, just shoot me an email at bubba@bubbatrading.com. Check it out, man. It's good to be hedged. In the meantime, don't forget about our brokerage partner, Tradier Brokerage. They are a truly commission-free broker, $10 a month flat, no other fees. You want to get a link there and you want our special break, give me an email at bubba@bubbatrading.com. And don't forget about our high school program at patreon.com/BubbaTrading. That's patreon.com/BubbaTrading. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horowitz. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, March the 1st, and it is, of course, what a wild market. Wow. Okay. But it was a great market for us. Okay. I mean, we had guys that had record days last week, guys and girls. Okay. We had people had a record week, is the most they ever made in 1 week. We were positioned properly in all of our spots, whatever we do. We were hedged. Okay. The futures portfolios and the equity portfolios all went straight up because of the positioning that we had on. Of course, it was a phenomenal week for all. And again, it was felt awfully good to be hedged and be able to benefit from all that down action. Of course, it was down, and it was basically they ripped them apart every day. I think there was 2,000 point drops, and close to a third one. And as the Carpenter song says, I think we've only just begun. Again, I don't put stock into the coronavirus. I mean, I believe it. Obviously, I think it's a problem. But again, the problem with these markets was long before. Okay, and again, we saw it coming, but we stayed with it until our algorithms turned and said it was time to get short. We did get short last Monday or Tuesday, a week ago. Okay, so again, we were prepared, we were ready, and sure enough, here we go. So, again, I think you probably will see some two-way action. I mean, that rally on Friday was the most unusual. Not the rip your face off part. I mean, we've seen that, right? You got a market down 1,000, right, back 800, no big deal. But I think the interesting thing is the timing of the rally, where it came from, and when it came. So this was interesting, and this more looked like someone who got stuck too short and got a tap on the shoulder. That's what it looked like to me. But when you see when you see that kind of rally on a Friday afternoon into a weekend that is filled with potential bad news, that had to be, I don't think that was somebody taking a shot. I think that was somebody who got caught short. Again, that's what it looks like to me. And of course, short covering rallies feed upon each other as they continue to try to go. And of course, they're like rats trying to jump over the door, trying to get out. So that could be what it was, or maybe it was real, or again, there's nobody to really know, but it was extremely unusual. But of course, if you weigh the other side of that coin, everybody was prepared saying, well, the markets can't go up today because, who's going to want to go home along the weekend? Well, I guess people decided to change their mind or they got trapped out. So meantime, equities, in our opinion, headed lower, but we will sell rallies. I firmly expect some rip your face off rallies. Okay, we're expecting that, so it will not be a surprise. The real question is where do you find a level to sell it, which we think is higher, and how long does it last, and is the tops of the market in? And I think the tops are in. Our longer term charts turn negative as well, so we think the tops are in anyways. We are sellers of rallies until that changes. Now again, that will change when the algorithm changes, but in the meantime, look to be a seller, and I would love, for example, I would love to see him spike higher tonight so I could sell a little more. But we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, the markets are the markets, and again, this is not a different market. This is not a strange market. It trades. All that's changed is some of the traders that are in the world and the actual item that is being blamed for the sell-off. In the meantime, most unusual of all was the gold plunge on Friday, down $75. Okay, now again, $75 is a lot of move. It's a big move in itself, but into a market that was loaded with fear, and yet where is that safe haven gold buyers? Where'd they go? I can't take it anymore. Okay, that in itself should prove to you that gold is not a hedge. Listen, I like gold. I own gold. Okay. I'm going to be short it tonight now, though. Okay. But I have no problem with gold. And I'd like to own it. I love the physical metal. Okay. It will help me as a currency potentially someday. But it will also appreciate in value, but it's nothing more than a hard asset. Okay. It's like your house. Okay. It's not going to protect your portfolio if the world comes to an end. Okay? And again, the action on Friday should tell you that. Okay. But in the meantime, we're going to be short. We were long. We suffered through that beatdown, but we are short silver. We are short platinum. Okay, and again, it looks bad. The metals look bad. Okay, this is starting to look pretty ugly. Oil, oh baby, we said the mid 40s. Look what we got to in the mid 40s. You know what? As we are still short, and I think it's going lower. I think the next target is 40. Okay, again, oil was headed lower before any of this news came out, and it's still headed lower. Okay, now again, I think you'll see some sharp rallies. Remember, when you get in bear markets, they create the best rallies, okay? Because what happens is they're sharp, they're fast, and they look so good. How can I not get in? I'm going to miss it. So it brings in the FOMO effect, which adds more. And then, of course, they fall apart. I think expect to see that in oil, okay? But again, we're looking to sell, and we think, again, my projection is in the 40s, okay, then the low 40s now. Now, if it gets there, great. I mean, I'm still not a buyer. I'm going to be a buyer at whatever price it is when the algorithm says it's time to buy, okay, and not a minute before. The bond markets, oh my God, they're going to Pluto. I've never seen like this in my life. These markets they were up almost 3 points at one time, or 3.5 points. I think 315. And they were up, and they ended up 250. They lost a full point on the late day rally. But notes are down around 1% now. I mean, the 30-year is, I think, 1.5. Okay, so you can just see now that's some panic. Okay, as they continue to fly to the safety of the treasury markets. I mean, it's amazing. Yields are falling so fast that I bet they didn't. They didn't trade. They never trade this fast. And all of a sudden now they trade unbelievable. I mean, the bonds themselves as a product a big day used to be 3, 4, 5 ticks one way or the other. Today, the bonds move 2, 3, 4 full points. It's amazing. In the meantime, we are still long treasuries, and obviously right now have no desire to get out of them. Copper continues to go lower, and of course we're short copper, and I can continue here. I see no reason that to change. You've got the grain markets, which are just ugly. Okay. Now again, it's not like they're getting mashed every day. They're worse than that. They're giving you like 1,000 paper cuts as it goes down a little bit every day, but they don't look good. Okay, that is indeed the story. They don't look good, and it looks like they've got more room to go to the downside. Now again, I hate being short. We are short, but I hate being short at these levels. I'd like to be a buyer. I will be a buyer soon when the algorithms turn around, but we don't know how low is low. I think we should be somewhere near, but we'll see more as they trade out. But again, for now, we're short. Now, just between you and me, if I was just brand new and had no money, and I wouldn't short them here. But I do think I wouldn't buy them either. And I think, again, cattle's basically the same way. Okay. And we're going to reverse hogs tomorrow as well. So really, agriculture is just under an enormous amount of pressure right now. Some of it we identified, some of it we were wrong on. I get from my personal view as a person, as an investor, trader, okay, and things like that, I find it very challenging to want to short these products. Again, I do because, again, I follow the rules. One of the key things about being a trend trader and about being in the market, excuse me, and being able to exist is the ability to follow the rules. So personally, I may not like it, but I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. I am not going to fight what the algorithm tells me to do. So I will stay short. Is unhappy as I am about it, because I actually like to buy agricultural products. Okay. I mean, if you could give me my dream position every day, it would be long ag, short oil, okay, and short bonds. But anyways, so in the meantime, the markets in general are in trouble. Okay. Now again, this is before the virus, but they're in trouble. And I think that's one of the things you have to be watching. Okay, is you're watching the order flow, because this market is no different than any other soft market. If you go back to 99 or just early 2000, March of 2000, okay, and you look at what happened to the NASDAQ, okay, out of nowhere, but it really wasn't out of nowhere. It was, again, moves don't just show up out of nowhere. They've already been building up to this crescendo of a potential sell-off for months, okay? So again, you've had these warning signs, but now they want to make news out of it, okay? And that becomes the bigger problem, okay? And you've got the gold manipulators out there talking, they say, what about let me ask you a question. Manipulated or not, okay? Is it still not a market? Okay. Do they know what side you're buying or what side you're trading? Okay. There's an old story I used to tell. My grandmother used to love the harness horses, right? The buggies. And she want to go to the track, and she says, "Grandma, the horses are fixed." She says, "Maybe I'll bet on the crooked horse." Okay. I mean, you think that the correlation is always there anyways? If it's manipulated, what difference does it make? Get with the manipulators. If you think they're manipulating, get on their side. Okay. Just like trend trading. Get with the side that's moving. Does it matter? So again, it's such a bunch of BS. I can't stand it. All the whining, complaining about the manipulators in silver and gold. Get on the right side. Get on the same side as the manipulators. Then you don't have to worry. Then you have nothing to complain about. Okay. I mean, again, every market is manipulated if you want to put it that way. I mean, it's silly. But in the meantime, as I get back to, so again, we're looking to sell everything. I mean, all rallies and equities. I think you're going to see that this is going to. I think this is just the beginning. There's going to be a lot of selling. Now again, that may not be tomorrow, might not be tonight. I think you probably see a rally, but again, it's hard to gauge at this point what the street and what's going on in homes this weekend. Are they starting to panic? We haven't seen a good old-fashioned panic on a Monday yet, so for a while. So let's see what happens and how it trades out. But again, at the end of the day, we do think, forget about anything. The market says that the tops are in. It's going a lot lower. Not only has the daily, the weeklies, all the charts have turned south for the winter. And of course, we're coming into summer. So it looks like a rough ride ahead for the time being. We're going to step out here for a break, and we'll be back with our commentary right after the break here on Bubba's Bottom Line, Sunday, March the 1st. We'll be right back. Okay, kids, I've been begging you for years to get hedged, okay? I'm still begging you. It's never too late to get hedged, okay? I did a great hedging webinar yesterday, okay? And I'd like you to listen to it. Again, it's free, okay? The class cost, but the webinar is free. Check it out for yourself, because I will tell you this, all the guys that are hedged with me, all the guys that we talk in our chat room all the time, they're having a party. This is not the crying room. It's the party room. So check it out. Just email me at bubba@bubbatrading.com. And of course, don't forget, brokerage is a big part of what we do. And you want to get real free trading, not that artificial free trading they advertise. Trade your brokerage. That's our partner. You can get a link from me and get $10 a month flat. No more commissions than that. In the meantime, let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me and my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horowitz. It is March 1st. And of course, every week I got a few things to say, and some who knows what they're going to be. But today, I have to say that this media coverage of the coronavirus, the media coverage of the markets is pathetic. Okay, I'm doing it from all sides, and I'm going to pick on the network that I do a lot of work for. But I've watched, and they refuse to have on anybody who will say anything negative about the market. You got to remember something. Okay, now again, and I'm not saying to be negative. Okay, I'm saying tell the facts as they are. The facts as they are as the market's selling off. Quit trying to make a story or create so much fear on one side, and then bring in people that say, "Oh, buy." And again, the markets may very well be a buy. I'm not saying they're not, but I think that the individual investor gets trapped in and wrapped up with this ridiculous, crappy reporting. Okay, that you have the only guy on air, okay, that trades his own money and has his own skin in the game every day is me. Okay, the rest are advisors that only make money if you have money invested. Okay, so what do you think they're going to tell you? To pull out? And I'm not saying to pull out, right? We never pull out. I'm saying to give the people some fair and equal coverage. Don't only bring on the bull market people. I've been through this before with media in general, and there's times I won't go on because I won't say what they want me to say. I don't believe in I don't believe in preaching fear anyways. I don't believe in preaching, too much excitement. I think even Keel gets it. And I find it very annoying to listen to the number one show in business, okay, that continues to bring on these drooling dopes with just there is no other way to go. Buy. And of course you keep buying. And again, over long haul, if you have money, hey, it's great. But you do need to watch your position. You do need to have a better understanding of the markets and understand what can happen here. Because if you force your way in on short money, okay, you're going to be forced out. Okay, again, investors, I wouldn't even watch the TV. Investors, I would stay invested. Okay, I'm saying invest. I'm hedged, but I would say invested either way. But I'm really disappointed in the coverage. I'm really disappointed in some of the things I heard. And I heard some guy say, okay, an option trader on the show the other day, buy calls here. Do you realize if you buy calls here, you are almost guaranteed an automatic loser? Same goes for if you buy puts. The volatility is ridiculous here, okay? Options that we were paying $2 ago for 3 weeks ago are trading at 10. So if you're listening to these dopes that tell you to buy options at these ridiculous volatility levels, then shame on you, because you have no chance to make any real money when you're overpaying 5x for a price, no matter what it is, okay, and no matter where the move is. Remember, if you bought it in the spiders, you'd need a 5% move in the spiders just to break even. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horowitz, and as always, I thank you for being here. I want you all to have a great weekend. Tonight's opening should be interesting. Okay, and again, I have a hunch. Again, no basis behind this that the Fed could get involved here before the day's over. In the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow with a Bubba's Daily Update. Opening should be fun tonight. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great weekend. We'll see you later.